don't worry. I'm going to cover quite a few things when it comes to the personal OKR. Why I'm doing this, of course, out of my passion, and also in conjunction with, because last week, person by the name Dhiran had just conducted a session on the OKR, and there was a person by the name Jiva had asked some question about personal OKR. Then I thought, why not I conduct this session, because I'm doing quite a few things on the personal OKR front for quite some years. When I say quite some years, maybe 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. So that's the whole intention of it. Okay. Before we proceed, I would like to just bring this up. A quick introduction about myself. Okay, yeah. I'm a simple guy, easy to connect with. I just put on some other points before we really proceed. That way, you know with whom you're talking with. I like to visit new places, meeting new people. That's something I really love to do. And I love spending time with nature, because nature is one of my teacher. I learn a lot from nature. I go to a quiet place and I sit and admire God's creation. I wear elbowed, which means for learning, I'm a lifelong learner. Something or other I make sure that I learn in all walk of life. I like solo driving, particularly in my mostly in the bullet. When I'm in India, I used to take bullet and I just go and explore new places, particularly on my house is closer to the beach. So I go right on the beach road. And I like to learn new languages. I can speak Hindi, Telugu, Malayalam, English, and I'm a Tamilian, by the way. Apart from Tamil, I did learn all the remaining language all by myself. Again, just by setting the personal OKR. And in the off late, I've just developed interest to learn around human psychology. That's fascinating me. By the way, I'm a psychology student as well. I'm a voracious reader. Right now, I'm reading 3 books in parallel. One is about The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. And then the next book is about Word Power Made Easy by Norman Lewis. And then another book by the name The Master Key Channel. That's something I've kind of started. And my short-term goal is that I wanted to become an author. That's something I saw as one of a personal OKR the next couple of years, 2 to 3 years back. My long-term goal, that will be quite interesting. I want to follow my passion, which I'm still figuring out, right? So this is how to the question what Bala asked, whether the personal OKR helps in aligning your career, aligning with your passion, right? I've explored quite a few area where I'm passionate about. That's where I am aligning my long-term goal as well. My favorite philosophy in life. If I will change, everything will change. I do have a couple of mentors from whom I learn. I go take classes, paid workshop, I learn from them. And there is one philosophy I learned from my mentor is, if I will change, everything will change. In fact, personal OKR is, you can align that with this one simple philosophy. If I will change, everything will change. Feel free to write that down. It will have a humongous and a huge impact when you start applying that in your life. Finally, I'm passionate about touching people's lives. So that's one of the passion I've identified these days, that I wanted to align my career down the line, just to make some difference in the life and the way best I could do. So that's one of another passion area where I've figured it out as part of this personal OKR journey. And by the way, I live in Chennai, and I'm blessed with 2 adorable kids. I have a teenage daughter and one beautiful, precious wife. Finally, people call me Arun because that's my name. Okay, that's a quick introduction about myself. I hope by this time you would learn, you would have come across, or rather you would have just got to know who I am, with whom you're talking with. But the people who just joined late, it's all about, I was just giving a quick introduction about myself. Now I would like to get into the quick icebreaker, which I kind of put across. It goes like this. I'm going to ask you one simple question. feel free to use the chat, or of course you can unmute yourself and you can say. By the way, everyone, I hope everyone know the 5 senses what we have, right? Anyone wants to take a stab on that? Can someone just unmute and say what are the 5 senses we have? Bala, Jaskurat, Sharvari, anyone who wants to take a stab at it? The 5 senses?
Can I go?
Yeah, well, why not?
Sense of sight.
Yes.
Smell.
Yeah.
Touch.
Yes.
Hearing.
Yes.
And then I can just for 4 I can remember now.
Okay, no worries. Okay, that's a good try. Let me make things easier for you, my friend. The taste, smell, hearing, touch, and sight. Of course, the 6th sense is all about our cognitive that I have not put here. But the simple question I would like to ask you, participant, the question is this. Out of the 5 senses what we have, which one sense you're okay to lose in your life? Feel free to type in your response in the chat, or you could unmute and you can just open up and say, what is that one sense you're okay to lose? Also, you're okay to live with that. Or I mean, live without that. What could be that one sense? I see somebody put that in the chat. Okay, except Bala say except hearing, anything else. Okay. I
mean, nobody would like to lose any of the senses, but during COVID time, we lost the taste. So at least for a couple of days, we can still manage.
That's a good one. Anyone else wants to say, I'm okay to lose this particular sense? Is there anything that you have in your mind? I know all senses are important, but it's a thought-provoking, because this is one of the things which I'm trying to practice of what would happen if I lose some sense, and I practice that without that, and helps me to make other sense to become effective. Okay, there is a hidden, there is a implicit message as well. You try to control some sense, the other sense becomes stronger, and you take that in cycling, right? You try to just control your seeing, you try to just curb your taste for 2 days, whatever it is I will eat. Okay, something like that. Any other response from anyone else before I move on? Maybe one other person wanted to just unmute and say which sense you are okay to lose and to live without that. Okay, good. Well, we can just move on to the next part. Before we proceed, I would like to just start off with a simple opening thoughts. Of course, I'm yet to get into the session. Don't worry, we are good in time, because I've just rehearsed and I just framed the time frame for it. But I wanted to just start off with the opening thoughts, which I normally do when I conduct sessions. Again, I would like to toss this question to the participants who are on the call. What does this world, the environment where you live, the people around you wants from you? What's that one thing the entire world, this environment where you're in, the people around you wants from you? What's that one thing? Just go to the chat, put it in the chat, whatever. Okay, so Joseph says smell. Okay, so Joseph is okay to breathe with that smell. Yeah.
Can I give it a try?
Of course. In fact, all the participants who are on the call, most welcome. We are going to spend some 5 minutes, considerable amount of time, because it's opening thought. Yes, please.
Yeah, the world wants me to make an impact by affecting people's life positively.
Very nice, Joseph. Okay, so according to Joseph say the whole world's, or the people around him wants him to make an impact, right, Joseph?
You're right.
Absolutely. Oh man, this is really good. And then Nagi say love. Okay, Bala say positivity and transformation. Nagi say love and care. John say love and care. Yeah, can I just see some more response? If you're not, and as I mentioned, if there is a reason why I'm just opening up this particular opening thought, aligned with a personal OKR, because I'm in the current contemporary of things. Trust me, the world needs your attention. How many of you disagree with that? Or rather, how many of you agree with that? Whether you like it or not, the whole world, the environment, the people around you wants your attention in some way or other. I'm really glad to see the response in the chat that people want love, affection, care, bringing a positive impact. And that's a fantastic and a wonderful input from your people, which means the people around you I feel they are positive in nature. They want you to excel. They want you to emulate certain things in your life. But on the other side, if you look at it, the whole world wants your attention. Simple example. You go to YouTube, you wanted to say, listen to a song, or you wanted to just start your day with some positive message, a motivation message. And you see there is an ad for buying something, or there is a song, or there is a shot, or there is something that entertainment news or the breaking news you tend to see, which means the person who had posted, he or she wants your attention irrespective of what you really want. How many of you would agree with that?
Arun, not sure about the world, but at least my wife wants attention.
Menu, who was that, sir?
Fully agree.
Menu, who was that?
This Nagesh.
Nagesh, you rightly said, bang on. That's what it is, right?
Yes.
Whether your wife, your family member, your parents, they will need in some end, particularly when you grow old, you would need everyone's attention on you, yes or no? That's what our grandparents wanted from us, right? But when it comes to the personal OKR, trust me, friend, the world wants your attention some way or other. I will like to just tag that as maybe with a thick of things, the so-called the distractions, right? And they want your attention. The media wants your attention. The film industry wants your attention. The spiritual people want your attention. The politician wants your attention. With all the chaotic things happening around you, there is one thing we tend to lose. You know what it is? I need a volunteer who can just take the chance to just go through, read the line, what you see on your right-hand side.
Can I go?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Should I repeat that, right? So whatever is it?
That's right. You can read out what you see on your right-hand side, Bala.
Sure. Yeah. The whole world wants your attention. In this process, normally we lose our awareness.
Right.
Yeah. Awareness is one of the key that helps you to remain focused in life.
That's right. So there's an opening thought I wanted to bring it on the table, friends. In the current contemporary world, we are losing our awareness. Awareness, in fact, I'm reading a book called The Secret. The book, the last chapter talks about the secret of you. Okay, the secret of you, which means each and every participant, the beautiful, adorable, wonderful, intelligent participant in the call, if you are losing awareness, it's really quite challenging to stay focused. But when it comes to the personal OKR, the main important key aspect is you got to remain focused. Only then you can do the goals what you wanted to achieve, the impact what you can bring it into the world. Okay, so that's a quick opening thought I would like to bring it on the table before we really get into the discussion. Now are we good on time? Just a quick time check. Perfect. We're good on time. Can get into the core presentation for today. All right. Okay, good. Again, thank you so much to the participant who are on the call. I'm truly humbled to get this opportunity from AgileWaters Consulting, though I'm being a participant. I used to be a participant attending various other sessions from them. And it's a privilege to conduct this session on the personal OKR front. Okay. As I mentioned, people call me Arun because that's my name right now. I'm based out here in the US. I'm in the Eastern time zone. Our time is 9:17 a.m. EST. Okay. With that note, on a 21st January 2023 Saturday morning. With that, we can get started with the session. I know you people might have some or other open question. Don't worry, we have a separate Q&A session. I'm going to run through the concept about this personal OKR. I'm going to bring in different aspect to it. I'm pretty sure you will have at least just one key takeaway point. That's my promise. That's my promise, because I put this information based on my own experience, based on some of things what I was doing in my life for the last 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. And I'm going to give a real life example of some of the two pillars of what I practice in my life. Okay. Moving on to the agenda. These are the 5-6 points we're going to cover in today's session. We're going to have a good story, monkey peanut story. And I'm going to teach about personal OKR formation loop. This is really important. And how does the personal OKR loop gets into a domino effect? Okay. And then the fourth point would be around the Hebs Law, which is, since I'm a psychology student, I learn about quite a few things, psychology. I thought, why not I teach this particular law? It really helps. And then eventually I'm going to give 2 practical tips for you to build a personal OKR. And the last would be to give a real life personal OKR sharing from me, which I'm practicing on the health and also on the career. Okay. With that note, we can quickly jump into our session. Before we proceed, okay, so this is another message I wanted to pass it across. Normally, when we conduct this kind of session, we have 2 sets of people. Do you know who are they? One set of people. I need a volunteer who can just unmute and read what you see on the bottom text, please. Who wants to go first? Let's just make it a little bit interactive.
Yes. The cup is full. I know about this already. What is the big deal?
Thank you so much, Nagesh. I would like to read it. The cup is full. The eyes, it goes like that, okay? I know about this already. What's the big deal in it? So there you'll find one set of people who say that I already know this. And you know, the second set of people, I need another volunteer who can just read what you see on the bottom, please. Volunteer, please. Sharvi, you want to go?
Okay. Can I go?
Yeah, please.
Yeah,
Unmute
please.
yourself. Let's just make it interactive, friends.
The cup is upside down. This is not for me. Oof.
I love that.
Let me mind my own business.
That's right, Joseph. Joseph, I want to give a round of applause to you. In fact, participants, you can give a round of applause to Joseph just because the way he said the oof. So the second set of people is, they are the cup, and it's a cup, the mental cup is upside down. They keep, and they say, you know what, this is not for me. Let me mind my own business. Let me do chat. Let me talk to somebody. Let me do other work. But friends, I don't know under which category you're following. You fall into. Joseph, you raise your hand. You have something to ask, Joseph? Okay.
No, go on.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. I don't know under which category you fall into, and it's not my duty to discredit you. You fall into this and this. But I would like to place a humble request. The next 30 minutes you're going to spend with me, I want you to be on the left-hand side, what you see, even if you know something about it, but I want your attention and your undivided attention. If you can just remain focused, that'll be great. Okay, let's just get started with a quick story. How many of you like story, by the way? How many of you like story? Okay, Bala say, yeah, you can just go into the chat and just type yes. Let's just make it average attention span, reduce speaker dislocation. Yeah, Bala, that's good. Okay. And you know what now? Okay, this yes is fine. But okay, friends, listen to me. This yes is fine, but I want you to go and type the yes like this. Can you just do that for me? Yes. Let's just do it. Yes. Bala, thank you so much. Oh yeah, Sharvi, thank you. Thank you, John. Thank you, Arpana. Oh, okay, my girl, my daughter joined as well because I just sent, okay, that's really nice. Remember, friends, anything we do in your life, do it with energy, because life is energy, your energy. If you do anything with complete energy, you will, thank you, Nagesh. Thank you, Mary. Mary, I like that. Why? Yeah, yes. That's really good. Mary, anything you do in your life, if you don't do it without energy, I tell you, it's after some point of time, you lose it. So that's the reason I wanted to just bring in this little bit of energy. I tried my best. Now let's just quickly get into the story. Whether you say yes or no, trust me, invariably, our mind is tuned to listen to story. We are ingrained to listen to story. The story goes like this. In South Africa forest, there is a special breed of monkey exist. The monkey is quite miniature in size, and it really just hop and move branch to branch, tree to tree. To put it simply, it's hard to catch hold of the monkey. But the beauty of that monkey is that specific monkey flesh is so tasty, so yummy. The hunter who comes to hunt in the forest, irrespective of other animal, what they normally tend to hunt, they focus on this specific breed monkeys. Why? I've already said the answer. Because the monkey flesh used to be so yummy. Also, I mentioned that it's hard to catch hold of the monkey. If that's the case, how do a hunter catch the monkey? The hunter were thinking quite a few approach, a strategy to catch hold of the monkey, but nothing was paying them off. There was the other side of the monkey is the monkey likes peanut. I repeat, the monkey likes peanut. So the hunter, what they thought, through this, if I could feed a peanut, I can catch out of the monkey. So they tried giving the peanut. By the time they try to hunt, it just in a whisk, the monkey hops. It's hard to get into the target and to let the arrow or let the bow goes. I mean, the arrow goes and strike the monkey. Then they thought, okay, let's just do this. We'll take a tender coconut, make a small hole, and then we put some peanut, because the monkey normal habit, if you notice, it just goes and look out for food. And if there is a hole, it tries to put the hand, irrespective of whether there is a danger in it or not. You might have just noticed the monkey used to put a hand even in the snake, or other, even in the place where the snake stays, right? So they thought, okay, we'll make a hole in the top of the tender coconut, we'll put some peanut, and we'll place it in the place where the monkey comes. They place it, the monkey came, monkey habituated pattern. It just put the hand and it just found the peanut. I was feeling so great. But while taking it out, the monkey was not able to take the hand out. You want to see how it was? Something like this. The story stops there. Again, you can guess the remaining story. Of course, after the monkey put the hand in the hole, not able to take, and it just got stuck. The hunter comes, let the arrow goes, it pierces the monkey body, and it's dead. The hunter takes the monkey, go and have a delicious supper. Now, the message I wanted to put here, most of the time, okay, but again, I want a volunteer who can just unmute and read the context, what you see on the right-hand side, friends. Who wants to go first, please? Yeah, Bala, please go ahead.
So most, one second. Can you hear me, Arun?
Yeah, I can hear you, Bala.
Yeah, most of the time we also are not ready to go. Sorry, most of the time
Let go.
Yeah, we also not ready to let go the peanut. In this context, read it as habituated pattern. It might be good or bad.
Thank you so much, Bala, for that. There's a strong message I wanted to give when it comes to the personal OKR. Trust me, friends, if you have created certain habituated pattern, it's really, really, really hard to achieve your personal OKR. That's a simple message. I want to start my session with this note. I hope we're all on the same page. Let's just quickly get into some of the different aspect when it comes to the personal OKR. Two important aspects I wanted to cover when it comes to the habituated formation, right? Psychologically, if something is easy and if something requires less effort, I repeat, if something is easy and something requires less effort, human psychology, or rather we are designed in such a way to do that regularly, continuously. Okay, I repeat, anything easy, anything needs less effort, it easily turns out to be your habituated pattern. I hope you all agree with that. Example, playing games in phone, binge watching in Netflix. Do you think playing games in phone is hard or easy? It's so easy. In just one click, go to Google Store, you download the game, and you play for hours and hours and hours. And again, binge watching in Netflix. Is it really hard to watch movies in Netflix? Or is it takes a huge, humongous effort to sit in a couch to watch the TV in Netflix? Absolutely no. All you need is switch on the TV, switch off the light, and you need a good couch. That's it. Next 2 hours, 3 hours. I know some of the known people, they use, I watched 3 films today. Again, I'm not telling anything bad or anything in a negative connotation. My point here is, if something is easy, if something needs less effort, you tend to create habituated pattern. Why I put the slide? When certain things becoming your habituated pattern, it will have a huge repercussion on your personal OKR. Yes? Then you might be asking, Arun, then how do I break it? Yes, don't worry, I will get that covered. One of my mentors taught me, Arun, if something is hard, something is not yielding you result immediately, you better practice that. The message was simple. If something is hard, something does not give you immediate result, practice that. Of course, I tried quite a few things, and it did wonders in my life. I was able to reach some of the milestone when it comes to the personal OKR. I will cover that in my example as well. Now, I wanted to touch base on the formation loop, right? Okay, Arun, you're good with the story. What you said, we love that, and also we like the concept of the this easy and less effort. Fine. But I would like to teach you something about, there is something called a formation loop, which has a huge repercussion in the habituated pattern, which also in a way implicitly helps or rather affect your personal OKRs. The loop is called ISAR. There's an intention, there's a stimulation happen, there's the action happens in your body, and then you get the reward. Simple, I would like to explain this in a simple analogy. Assume on a Saturday morning, you had a busy take this Saturday, you're busy from the morning, you're working, and you're feeling so hungry, you're famished, you want to consume some good food. So your intention is to feed your hunger, right? Your intention is to give some food to your body. That's your intention. What is the stimulate? The stimulate is something, see, assume you want to feel like you wanted to have a biryani. Biryani is a special South Indian Not South. Yeah, it's a special dish in India, which is cooked in a specific place. Particularly Hyderabad biryani. It's a world famous biryani. So as you may want to have a biryani, your intention is you want to have biryani, and then the stimulate your sensory organs. When it comes to this, the simulation, the senses. That's the reason in the ice break I made sure that I just bring that senses as well. Your sensory has a lot to do with your personal OKR. If you're not able to control your senses, it's hard to reach your personal OKR. Okay, whatever I put, there is a reason, there is a connection. So you tend to, when you see here the biryani word, people tend to drool, people tend to just get into the action of, okay, I want to have the biryani. Action. Assuming you don't have biryani right now in your home, then you take your vehicle, there is action in your body, you go to the shop, you order it, there is action happening. And then the reward, you consume it, there is a reward. You feel good, your hunger goes off. I took one simple example of having a biryani. You can apply that in every other example in your life. There is an intention. Once you have that intention, there is something stimulating your body. Okay, do this. It can very well apply on the boozing, right? Something getting drug addict. I'm not picking those bad examples. And there is an action happens, and then there is a reward. Make sure this particular loop, ISER, happens for good thing. This ISER happens aligned with your personal OKR. That's a message I wanted to pass on the slide. Now, let's just get into a little bit technical aspect, aligning with the topic, the OKR and the initiative. The topic, as I mentioned, it's a personal OKR. Everyone knows in the call, OKR stands for Objective Key Results. We talk a lot about the OKR when it comes to the corporate world. We talk about the OKR, the management level, what they want to achieve, where they want to take the companies. But this personal OKR is an area where it's not focused or discussed much. You see, in the objective, where do I need to go? That's a goal you got to set. Before that, I would like to just mention the 4 pillars of life. From the moment somebody born in the world till the last breath, the person revolves around these 4 pillars. It's called health, relationship, career, and money. Whether you like it or not, I repeat, health, relationship, career, and money. When it comes to the personal OKR, see if you can set some goals aligning with your personal, aligning with your health, align with your relationship, align with your career, and align with your money aspect. Of course, I do all this 4 pillars. And there is one other pillar called self. That's out of context for today. You set some goal, and then the key result. How do I know I'm getting there? It's all about the result, what you get. There is a saying, the tree is judged by the fruit. Simple, right? The tree is judged by the fruit it gives. You just can't say the tree is so tall, the tree is so beautiful, the tree leaves are so soft. But if the fruits are not that good, the tree is fit for nothing, which means your results, that's what count at the end of the day. Okay. I would like to touch upon this one thing called initiative. Initiative is one common word used in the corporate sector. By the way, I'm in the industry. Okay, I did not cover anything about my on the professional side. I work as a delivery manager in one of a service-based company. This is my running 20th year in the IT journey, held various roles, worked with different clients, traveled around the world. So this initiative word is something used normally in the corporate world. There are roles where I've used to work with CXO at CEO level, CTO level, CSO level, CPO level. There are a few initiatives I've just worked with them on different aspects. The initiative is what will I would like to just mention. By the way, I want to volunteer who can you read that what you see under the initiative and in the box? I need a volunteer. Volunteer, you're there just to make sure that You all are with me? Any volunteer wants to go? I saw Mary had joined. Mary, you wanted to unmute and say what you read in the bottom of the initiative, Mary.
Can I read?
Yeah, Bala, please.
Yeah. Objectives.
Not that. The initiative in the bottom, in the box.
Yeah. What will I do to get there?
Thank you so much, Bala. That's the key difference when it comes to personal OKR, friends. I would like to call that as action. Without any initiative, read it as action. Your objective will not come to fruition. I hope you agree with me. If you really wanted to, as I mentioned, the tree is judged by the fruit. Your results are judged by your action. Particularly when it comes to personal OKR, your actions are really, really, really counted. What sort of action you're going to take defines your personal OKR. Yes? Let's just quickly get into, I would like to quickly touch upon the snowball effect, because this also has an implicit message to the personal OKR. I'm pretty sure some of you might have already heard about the snowball effect. Joseph, have you heard about snowball effect, Joseph? Do you want to say, if at all you know what snowball effect? Okay, if you don't know, that's fine, totally fine. Snowball effect is this. Something starts small, the snow, particularly when the mountain is covered with snow, something starts small, and if there is a small jerk, the snow start to roll, it get bigger, and after a point, it becomes a huge ball, and it becomes hard to stop, and then finally it just rolls and gives up. Bang. That's called snowball effect. Why I put the slide? When it comes to personal OKR, your action rolls up, it get into a snowball effect. And after some point of time, whether it's good or bad, you would keep continuing doing that without going back. It applies for good and the bad habituated pattern. I'm keep on using the word called habituated pattern. Why? Because your habituated pattern is something to do with your personal OKR. If you get into that particular pattern, then you can set the goal. What I've showed in the previous slide, you set the goals. Where do you want to go? What are the key results? And what are the action you would take? I see something in the chat. That's actually punishment, not reward. Okay, Bala. Okay, yeah. I would slightly politely say my point, what Bala mentioned. That's the reward. Yes, if you do good things, Bala. If you do the bad things, that's a punishment. That reminds me, there are 2 Ps. There's another concept called 2 Ps. I read a lot, by the way. As I mentioned, I'm a voracious reader. I read a lot. I learn different philosophy. I try to apply that in my life. So these 2 P define someone's life. It's the pain and the pleasure. If you're going to get the pain, mentally, you will say no to it. But if you get the pleasure, you'll say yes to it, and you keep doing it. Okay. So it's all about what you do, because there are quite a few things I do in my life. It really gives me reward. And I keep doing it, keep doing it, and become like this snowball effect. And it's really, really hard to stop. Maybe right now I have this particular book. I'm just showing this book, which you see. It's called The Word Power Made Easy by Norman Lewis. What I was saying, that I'm reading this book. Reading habit, I started reading habit 22 years back, and I could not stop now. Even I'm reading. That's the snowball effect I would like to mention here. Yeah. Okay, we can just quickly touch base about this Hebs Law, and then we'll get into the other aspect. I'm not sure how many of you have heard about the Hebs Law. If you haven't heard about it, I'm glad you would learn this. You learn about this Hebs Law from this session. It goes like this. Your neurons are wired together and fire together. I repeat it again. Your neurons are wired together and fire together. What happens I would like to just slightly throw some aspect because it's talking about the personal OKR, right? The neurons are connected in such a way that you do some activity, and after some point you do some activity, after some point you do activity, and then you keep doing that again and again and again. When you wanted to do that activity, your neurons automatically get fired because it's wired together. In the process, what happens? There is something called dopamine hormone. Again, I'm not getting too technical on the with all the scientific term, but I wanted to just mention about this one specific hormone, because when you do something, there is something called your dopamine hormone get produced in the body, which is related to your reward, it's related to your pleasure, and it's related to the compulsion to do it again. Why I put this slide? Because when it comes to personal OKR, you need to understand these two concepts. One is about my neurons are wired together, which means if I want to do this, if I want to reach this milestone, I need to create that habituated pattern, which will induce set of neurons to get fired together. Okay. In the process, you release certain dopamine, which you feel something reward, you feel something good, and then you get the compulsion to do it again. That's the Hebs Law. Okay. It really comes into picture when it comes to the personal OKR, because that's how you can usually sense it, right? On a Friday evening, people wants to have habituated pattern of boozing. The neurons are wired together that Friday evening, just boozing time. Saturday evening, it just go to Phil, go to theater. Sunday, go for shopping. That's how you are wiring your neurons. That's how it fire together and the action happens. Okay. Any questions before I proceed? Because this we came almost to the last part of the two tips, and then the last culmination one would be sharing some the real-time example. Any questions I can take up until now, friends? If not, is there anything that you are not clear that I could take and clarify before I proceed? Becoming a second nature, their state of flow. Can I say like that? Oh, absolutely, Bala. Yeah, what you put is absolutely right. It becomes your nature, and you become that kind of personality. The personality full form is the person and what he does in reality. Those two words called personality. Okay, you become your part of your nature, second nature, and it builds your personality. You become like that. Because yeah, Bala.
Yeah, sorry, continue. I'll ask after this.
Okay, sure, no problem.
So good. I mean, see so this snowball effect is like the initial thing that happened, and the effect of that is the dopamine, right? So means
exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
You're right. Of course, there's a sequence in the slide as well.
Okay.
There is a snowball effect happens, and that's how it just really the outcome would be the dopamine effect. You go and ask to somebody who smoked. They started something during college, but now they become a chain smoker. That's a snowball effect. Why are they doing it? Because their neurons are wired together and is firing together. Why it is happening? Because during that process, something getting released in the body, which is called dopamine. Now you see the connection with all the three?
Exactly, yeah.
That's it. If you understand this one concept before I go there, that's the logical sequence I put in the slide. I'm glad that you're able to connect the logical dots, Bala. Appreciate that.
Thanks, sir.
Okay, good. All right. Okay, so this is the crux of the presentation. What we have, a quick time check. Are we good on time? Yes, we're pretty much good on time. It's 9:46. Should be able to cover in the next 5 minutes, and then we'll open for the Q&A. So there, we're talking about this personal OKR. We're talking about this habituated pattern, good pattern, negative pattern. But Arun, I'm fine with whatever you said. It's all totally good. It in the paper, in the theory, in the session, it looks pretty good. A few things I've learned today, few things I've already know. It's all fine. But teach me, tell me, how do I build that ISAR loop, right? A simple approach or tip, what I can say is, if something wanted to build, when it comes to personal OKR, make it obvious. The problem with the people is they don't make that as obvious. They think, they keep on thinking, but they don't make it obvious. In the place where I am, I have a working desk. The pattern, what I wanted to build, it's so obvious to me. I have my book, I have my my exercise shoe, the jogging shoe I have, and there are quite a few things I've just kept what I wanted to do. I'm making it obvious. Why? Remember, more than the five senses what we have, right? The five senses, our eyes is the predominant and dominating sense. If you can control your eyes, you can do wonders, which means if you can make it obvious, visible, the place, what you really want to achieve. Because I'm working on certain goals. I used to work and now I'm working and I will also work. I see to that to make those, my personal OKR obvious to me with a visible cue. Why? Because that's when, remember, I started out with the opening thought. The opening thought was attention, awareness. I see to that to bring my awareness to the thing, what I really wanted to achieve in my life, the goal, what I would really wanted to do in my life. So I make it obvious with a visible cue. Okay, Arun, well, what about the negative pattern? Simple, make it invisible. Assume I don't want to smoke. If that's the case, if I'm going to just keep my room wherever I see there is a smoke, or rather the cigars and the cigarettes and the hookah, will I be able to quit smoking? Absolutely no. And it's the same thing with the boozing, right? Make it invisible thing which you really don't want. I know I used to hear from many of my friends that you know what, I'm kind of addicted to social media. When I say addicted, that I'm spending too much time in the social media, Facebook or Twitter, whatever you name it. Of course, there are a plethora of things in the world, in the market now. And what they say, I've just uninstalled it. I'm pretty sure you would also, your friend circle also might have brought that point, right? So make it invisible. Something you really don't want to do, make it invisible. Your mind is a simple organ. What you feed, it takes and process. If you don't feed, it's not going to process. Okay. Second, make it attractive. This is my favorite part. This is something called temptation bundling. Okay. I build the temptation around, if I do this, oh boy, if I can keep myself fit, oh boy, I've looked so fit. If I do this, I can do this. I mean, these are the benefits I'm going to get. I see to that to make it pretty attractive, because your mind always like, if something, mind is very good student. Okay, what are we trying to learn? And perfectly, Bala, absolutely, Bala. You're bang on, man. You already know a lot of things, Bala. Thank you so much for the thought. Yeah, of course. Make it attractive. There are quite a few things. If, for example, I wanted to go to when it comes to health, I'm a little bit health conscious, which means I don't go and hit the gym, but I'm doing some of the pertinent to the health. I'm doing for the past 27 years. I'm practicing quite a few different areas. Okay, I will just give that a real life example as well. So make it attractive. When it comes to personal OKR, the goals, what you're going to set. Example, you want to complete 4 certificates in this year, make it attractive. If I complete that 2 certificate, 3 certificate, that's how I have some 17, 18 different certificates. On the sales board, I have some 5, I'm a 6 certified, and I'm a PMP, I'm a CSM, I'm a SAVE, I'm a SVC, I'm a product owner. There are a bunch of things I've done. And I'm pursuing my MBA as well right now, because I'm making it attractive. That's a temptation building. Simple, the negative pattern, what you do, you make it less attractive. Think of the bad outcome. For example, if someone is going to smoke for long, think of the bad outcome. You're going to get disease, your respiratory organ going to go, it's going to fail. When you think of the bad outcome, then your mind will tend to fear. And that too, thinking in the long term, the bad effect, then you don't really tend to do it, because you have the inhibition of not to do it. So these are the 2 tips I would like to mention here, the good pattern and the negative pattern. Make it obvious, make it attractive. For the bad one, make it invisible and make it less attractive. before that, what did we learn today? I'll just summarize. Before that, I will, as I mentioned, I'm going to share two things. The sixth point, right? The personal life sharing. I'd like to quickly touch upon the personal OKR. What are the personal OKR I've set on these two aspects? One is about, I mentioned health, relationship, career, and money. These four are my four pillars, and I have my own personal OKR in all the four areas. I would like to just mention, pick one, the health and also the career, those two pillars. What are the personal OKR I've set and how I was able to achieve? With that, we can open up for the Q&A session. Just a quick time check. Are we good on time? Yes, we are good on time. We'll open up the last 5 minutes or so for the question and answer. When it comes to health, as I mentioned, I've set some goals, personal OKR, and I'm practicing quite a few things for the past 27 years. I got into from yoga, I got into meditation, I got into fitness, the gym, I got into the CrossFit training, and I got into jogging. I started to practicing for marathon running. I used to run for, I practice by myself. I can run for 1 hour without a stop because I've increased from 15 minutes up until 1 hour without stop. I got into that's on the physical strength. And then for the mental health, I started practicing meditation. I started to do quiet time. I started to spend time with nature. There are quite a few things, and I started to spend time in reflection. I started to do journaling. I have I can just show you that as well. So what I do, so I do some kind of journaling as well. So there are quite a few things I started to do for the past 27 years. How I do? Because I make it visible. If I want to go to gym, I make sure I keep the gym shoe in the cupboard on the top. I'm making it as visible. Okay. And the other thing is that I got into martial arts as well. I'm a second grade LO level martial artist as well. You see, there's one health aspect on the personal OKR. I set some goals. I'm not going in detail how do I set and things like that, but I set some goals. I work towards it, and that's why I mentioned, right, the so-called initiative, the action. I make sure I take the action. That's on the health side. I see a chat. Journaling is a great habit that will transform you for sure. But that's right, Bala. It really helps me a lot. In fact, I can show you there are a bunch of other big book I have for journaling. I do a lot of journaling. You see, there are a lot of things I'm not sure whether you can see it, but I have a big book for journaling as well. So the point here is these things, when you set your personal OKR, when you put that into the ISAR loop, I have an intention, I have a stimuli, and there is action happen, and I get the reward. So that's on the health side. On the career front, as I mentioned, this is my running 20th year. I started my career in 2003, and now it's 2023. I'm truly humbled and also truly grateful to the Almighty for giving me such a good corporate journey. It just made me to realize who I am, what are the potential I have. There are times where I was handling a bigger team of 400 plus people, held various roles at CXO level. I took some initiative or other. I was holding responsible where I was managing a bigger portfolio, things like that. I set every 3 years, I set some personal OKR when it comes to the corporate, when it comes to the career aspect, and I try working on it. That's why, as I mentioned, I have some 12 to 13 different various other credentials when it comes to the corporate journey. How do I do it? I make it visible. I make it attractive. The temptation bundling I try to do. If I complete in my role, I don't have to learn anything technical in the sense that but still I went for 6 certificate on the cloud platform. Why? Because I made it attractive. How I made it visible that if there is a certificate, then I just need to take the printout of it and put it on the table. I make it visible, and I make it so attractive. If I do, then now I have. That's the reason I showed in my flyer that there is something called SF Ash 6, which means I've done 6 certificates, and I started with the 7th one. When you have the awareness, when you bring your awareness, you can do all this. Health and career. Likewise, on the relation thing, I'm doing quite a few things. And the money thing I'm doing, I have my own personal OKRs, and I'm working towards it. Yes. So those are the real life sharing I would like to mention. So what did we learn today? We learned about the monkey peanut story. We started off with that, and we talked about the habituated pattern formation loop, ISAR, and then the OKR and the initiative, right? The action, only action defines you. We talked about Hebs Law. It's all about the neurons are wired together and fire together. And then 2 tips create break and good bad pattern is make it visible and make it attractive, temptation bundling. And then I did share about my real life habits as well. So with that, I would like to bring down the curtain. That's what I got on my table to share across as part of the personal OKR sharing. Otherwise, I'm truly humbled. Again, I want to thank Sharvari for the great coordination, and also the AgileWaters consulting group who helped me in giving this opportunity. With that, I would like to open the session for the Q&A, friends. Thanks for being a fantastic and a great participants. Sharvari, now we can open for the Q&A.
Yes, yes, sure. So anybody can.
Yeah, Bala Ganesh, raise a hand. Yeah, please, you can. Yeah, for the question, I appreciate if you can just unmute and just speak out.
Sure. Actually, can you give some more tips on how to make it attractive in the sense visible cues? I understand that it will give you a reminder kind of thing. So attractive in the sense like you'd associate a reward with it, and then you'll enjoy that, or how do you make it
good? Yeah, the attractive part, right? That's the reason I put that in the temptation bundling. See, assume one of the other habit, maybe on the personal front, right, on the self. I set the one personal OKR to complete 1,000 vocabularies. Okay, with this example, you'll be able to correlate that. I started off when I was in college. In fact, it was not 1,000. I set a target of, okay, let me just learn 300 vocabularies in 1 year. Okay, the temptation, how I made it attractive. If I know more words, I can go and talk to girls. Okay, by the way, my daughter is in the call. I hope she doesn't say that to my wife. So certain things you need to attach something so attractive. For example, so in this case, right, I set a goal of 300 words. And how do I make it attractive? If I know more, then I can get into I can take some different opportunity. I can speak better. I can be unique. Those are the attractiveness I'm trying to bring in. Okay. And trust me, within that year, I was able to complete 500 words. And now, you know what? Even now, I couldn't stop the habit. I'm sorry. Even now, you see here, I have a lot of examples that I have. I've crossed more than 10,000 vocabularies. Oops, I'm trying to. Oh yeah, here we go. I'm trying to show you. See, these are the words. I'm still trying to learn these words. Why? Because if I know this word in the client meetings, if I use a word, they see me differently. Trust me, on Friday, one of a client had just appreciated that I've used some nice words. That's attractive. I'm building some kind of a temptation towards it. When it comes to health, if I do all this exercise, then I can be fit compared to others with a belly and a paunch. Make it attractive what you think will bring the rewards, right? And then it's all about you try to think of, if I do this, what are the benefits I would just, for example, smoking, it's not so attractive to me. Why? Because it's just going to spoil my health. That's a negative benefit. But doing something good in the longer run, you tend to see some good outcome, good results. In a longer run, make it attractive. For example, when it comes to money, right? So what happens if you're going to become a millionaire where you have some $1 million in your account? That's attractive, right? You can do whatever you want. You can just take some time. But Bala, you're able to connect that?
Yes. Yeah, I can able to understand.
Yeah, for attractive, you know what? This is the catch. You got to tend to think in the long term, next 5 years, next 10 years. That's how I set certain things.
Yeah. We need to spend some time on why we are doing it and contemplate on it and try to get some inspiration in doing those acts, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Bala, I do a lot of contemplation with what I'm doing it. If something is not adding value, throw it off, chuck it off.
Exactly.
But if you try to say, for example, if you try to see things in a long term, Bala, next 5 years, 10 years, I'm pretty sure you will be able to, you'll see some attractiveness. For example, when it comes to health, I'm seeing after 50, still if I'm going to remain in my same weight of 72, what I'm maintaining for the past 15 years, isn't it attractive?
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Thanks a lot, Arun.
Hey, no problem, Bala. Bala, I really wanted to appreciate you. Hey, Joseph, thanks for the compliment as well. Life-changing presentation. Are you open to connection? Of course. Okay, to the participant who on the call, feel free to reach me. You can reach out to Sharvari, and I can just put my mail ID here.
Your LinkedIn or email ID.
Oh yeah, I'm going to put my email ID. Just yahoo.com. Okay, feel free to reach out to me. I check this mail regularly. Okay, feel free to reach me if you have anything that you wanted to explore more around this particular. I can give you some kind of a practical guidance, or if at all you wanted to looking at some kind of a template, I can share that as well, because I work on the SWOT analysis every year of identifying my strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat, and that's how I'm able to build quite a few things. Again, I'm not claiming that I'm a so-called successful person, but I have the fulfillment in my own terms. That's all the more important than anything else in the world. That's what I feel. That's why I'm able to strike a balance on the health, relationship, career, money, and the self. It gives a holistic, good feeling that you have done something worthwhile up until now. Okay. Any other questions I can take, friends? Yeah, it's 10:03. Maybe another 2 more minutes. We can just pair with one more questions. We can wrap this up.
One more question. If others don't have, I can ask. Since I'm
Any other question from anyone? Okay, I see a chat. Okay, Chaitra, very nice presentation to the point. Okay, thank you. I'm truly humbled, Chaitra, for thank you so much for the presentation. Reacted. Okay, Nagesh reacted. Okay, I take that as a compliment. You made my day. How do you spell your name? Chaitra? Okay.
Yes, correct.
Okay, Chaitra. I'm truly humbled. You made my Saturday morning. My weekend is quite busy this weekend because I'm part of a different initiative. I'm just going there. Thank you so much, Chaitra.
And thank you so much for this wonderful presentation. And I actually, now I unmute myself, I can talk about. I really like actually I could see, few easy pointers for myself. I can, point this thing out, this, kind of attractive, make it visible, make it invisible, which you don't want to do. I really like that part as well. It's very easy to the point and easy to implement for me.
Thank you so much. Trust me, I came up with 10 different points. I just removed all this. I'm going to tell 2 simple points which will remain in the mind to the participant. Even if there's 1 participant, 10 participants, 100 participants, doesn't matter. But if 1 person is going to get benefit out of that, make it visible, make it attractive. That's it. Okay, thank you so much, Chaitra. Yeah, Bala, you can proceed with your question. With that, we can call it a day because the time is important for all of us.
Sure. So actually this sometimes so because of some weaknesses or because of some our negativeness, other negative qualities, it's very difficult to identify that we are trapped in that habituated patterns.
Correct.
So see, if we identify the problem, I think we can implement these of making obvious and attractive and all. Sometimes we'll be so trapped into those pitfalls that it's difficult to identify. So can you share some insights, like did you experience anything as such, or like how to actually getting more aware of those habitual patterns?
Okay, good. Not only Bala, don't worry, you're not alone. The entire world, including myself, right? It's not that I'm speaking the other side. I'm the perfect epitome. Epitome in the sense I'm not saying that I'm the best example. I have a lot of shortfalls which I'm working. That's the reason, if you noticed in my opening thought, I brought the awareness. Anything I put here, each and every word I've gone through 10 times to make sure everything has a link, Bala. Problem happens is when we don't bring the awareness to what we do. My simple suggestion to you would be try to bring the awareness. You may be asking, how do I bring the awareness? You need to ask these two questions. The question number one, what I am thinking now. I repeat, what I'm thinking now. How I am feeling now. I repeat, what I'm thinking now. How I'm feeling now. If you're thinking, you're conscious, if you're thinking something bad, your awareness tells you this is bad. And all the more, your feeling tells you this is bad or good. When you feel something bad, stop doing it. Problem happens is when you don't bring the awareness, you keep doing it again and again and again. It becomes the ICR loop, what I mentioned, intention, stimulate, and action and reward. Keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. That's when the Hebs Law comes into picture, because your neurons are wired together and it fired together. And at some point of time, it becomes a snowball effect and you cannot stop. You can break that cycle if you can bring your awareness. Cause anything I do, I try to bring the awareness. Ask these two questions: what I'm thinking now, how I'm feeling now. A practical example, if you can, I think I can give you a suggestion, because I used to practice called awareness bell. I think you can download it from the Google app as well. If you can just type awareness bell or something, awareness bell, AWR, awareness bell. I put that in the chat. Just type, there is an app. You can download that app and you can set some reminder every 1 hour. It just gives you the bell. When it rings, I try to bring the awareness entirely to myself, in the sense what I'm thinking, what I'm doing now. The more you ground, the more you bring your awareness, that's when the magic happens. Thanks, Nagesh. I'm truly humbled you took part, and a pleasure meeting you virtually, Nagesh.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Again, Bala, to answer your question, the awareness is the key. How I do, I bring the awareness. And the second approach, what I practice is 2 + 1. If I'm doing one activity, something which I don't like, and I do it on that activity again on the second time, 2 + 1. Oh, sorry, 2 - 1. On the third time, I make sure that I don't do it. If something I'm not liking. If something I'm liking, of course, there is no. So it's the concept called 2 - 1. You do go to film on the first week, go to second week, third week. If you're not liking it, then don't repeat it. Why? Because you're weakening your neurons. That's how I literally practice. I weaken my neurons on things which I don't want, and I strengthen my neurons, which I really want. That's a simple approach. Those are the 3 things I gave as a tip. Just to summarize, awareness, try to bring your awareness. Okay. A second is about this 2 - 1. Okay, those two tips you can practice. Do it. Third time you use, at any means, you just don't do it. You'll really feel that difference.
Yeah,
because because the reason is, in fact, there is a last slide I put. Since you brought that across, I didn't just for the time reason, I did not cover that. But so this is what I practice, Bala, to answer. I think this is an apt slide for you. This is an apt slide. Of course, for some reason I did not get here, but I think your question just made me to show this up. The third tip is nothing but practice the pass. I practice the pass. Will this habit add value to me in a longer run? That's what I ask. And if I get yes, do it. If I get no, then I don't do it. It's as simple as that. I keep it clean. Then I focus on, because I have half a dozen things which I really wanted to focus, which I'm focusing already from health-wise. I'm journaling, I'm reading books, I'm into fitness, I'm preparing for certificate, I'm doing my MBA. There are a bunch of things I'm doing. Then I focus my attention to that, and life start happens. Okay.
Yeah, really insightful. Great session. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, but in fact, since you're so interactive, and also you were so appreciate. I mean, you just joined. I would like to get your personal mail ID. Shalvari, I would like to give
Sure.
Amazon gift card, 1,000 rupees Amazon gift card to Bala, because he joined yearly. He was so interactive. He was so inquisitive to learn many things. So as a just to acknowledge his participation, I would like to give Amazon 1,000 rupees gift card to you, Bala.
Wow,
Are you happy,
great.
Bala?
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Put me your mail ID in the chat,
Sure. Yeah.
and you will have your gift card. I'll route it through Sharvari. Maybe she can send it to you, or rather I can. I can. Yeah, I made a note of that. Okay, I hope this chat doesn't. I'll put it here. Yeah, please expect the gift card over the weekend, Bala.
Thanks a lot, Arun. So humble. Thank you. You're a
It's
great
all
leader
small.
because you're recognizing,
Yeah.
minute attempts, and you're trying to reward. Thanks a lot.
Oh boy, yeah,
That's
I
a
did a lot
true
of
quality
work.
of a leader, to recognize people and to encourage and take to the next level. Thanks a lot.
Right, yeah, I read a lot about leadership as well. Maybe if time permits, Sharvari, this I can give a session on leadership as well.
Yeah, we can talk. There are many sessions this year, and
Oh, no worries.
OKR, we
I'd love
started
to.
with OKR at the start of the year, and the personal OKR. So really good,
True.
and this will help people,
True.
including me.
Okay, yeah. Otherwise, thanks again, Sharvari, and also the Mindstream. Sorry, the AgileWaters Consulting, the leaders. I'm truly humbled again. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Arun.
Alberto, you
You're
raise your
quite
hand. You have something. Alberto, you raise your hand. You have something. I don't want any participant to go the questions unanswered.
Hello.